Dan ini adalah perkataan jujur dari aku bahwa selama ini aku mereaksi, aku belum pernah melihat bahwa coba tadi Anda dengar ya guys ya. Anda dengar di sini dia komplain, dia kecewa, dia marah, dia menegur, dia bosan. Mereka adalah pasangan bule asli asal UK, Amerika Serikat, berprofesi sebagai profesor di negara adik kuasa tersebut. Bahkan, Mat Saleh ini terlibat langsung dalam Badan Perdamaian Dunia atau PBB. Karena semakin lanjut usia, sebelum pensiun, dia ingin mencari tempat yang damai, tempat yang indah, selayaknya surga dunia, agar dapat menghabiskan masa tuanya dengan bahagia. Dia sudah berkeliling mencari tempat itu di Amerika Serikat, namun entah kenapa dia tidak menemukan tempat itu. Rupanya dia mengingat-ingat kembali guys tentang memori masa lalunya bahwa di era tahun 70-an dia pernah di Malaysia hidup dan tinggal di sana selama 4 tahun. Dan dia kembali penasaran dengan situasi Malaysia terbaru. Ia berharap bahwa Malaysia akan menjadi tempat yang ia impikan untuk masa pensiun. Namun apa yang terjadi guys? Alih-alih jumpa sesuatu yang dia harapkan, yang dia inginkan, malah dia temukan hal yang mengejutkan ini di Malaysia. Dia mengaku tak menyangka hal ini akan menimpa pada dia dan istrinya. Dan hal apakah itu? Jomlah kita cari tahu.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Taylor. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia, and I like to share my life and travels with you. Today I'm going to take you to Penang for another in my series on expats retiring to Malaysia. I think you'll find this really interesting. Today I'm going to interview my good friends Ellen and Paul. They're retired professors from California, U.S.A. And we're going to find out why they moved to Malaysia and why they retired here. I'm also going to give you a special tour of their luxury condominium in Penang. Don't miss that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm here with my good friends Ellen and Paul. They're retired professors from the United States, and they've retired here in Penang, Malaysia. And I'm going to give an interview with them so you can see what they think about Malaysia and how they got here. So, Paul, Ellen, I understand from knowing you as well as I do that you've lived in Malaysia before you retired here. Is that right?
Yeah, we were in the Peace Corps here, 1976 and 1978. We spent a year on the West Coast near Muar in the state of Johor, and then another year on the East Coast in Kota Baru. And then after that, 1980 through 82, we were in the UN teaching English to Vietnamese refugees. And that was on Pulau Bidong, which is an island off the east coast of Pulau Terengganu. So we've lived here for 4 years before we retired here.
And we visited it several times
Right.
as well.
In the between then and now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you always want to come back, or?
No, actually, I remember distinctly the last time were here, not the last time, but when we were here in 1997, we said, oh, that's probably the last time we'll go to Malaysia.
Wow.
You know, there's other places to see and other places to do, and but. Well.
Wow.
So that leads me to the question: did you consider other countries to retire to other than Malaysia?
No, it was pretty much Malaysia. We were about to retire, and we just, and we thought initially we were going to just retire somewhere in the U.S. But then I think you read an article in Forbes, and then that later led us to read some articles in International Living, which ranked Malaysia very highly on the scale for places to retire to.
Well, it used to.
Yeah,
Particularly,
it used to, right?
Particularly Penang.
Right,
Yes.
particularly Penang.
And it was just like it just clicked, you know. We saw that and we said, we could do that. We could actually do that, you know.
Yeah, that's sort of what happened to me too. It's like I never dreamed about moving here, but then when I started looking into it, it's like that's really doable, and it seems like a great place to live.
Yeah.
And suddenly it just seemed like such a better kind of retirement than just, you know, moving somewhere in the U.S. and
Which we could have done, but
watching our pennies every
right.
minute.
Yeah, that's the thing. We'd have to watch our pennies quite a lot if we retired in the U.S. But here, because you know the cost of living and the exchange rate, you know, we just buy things if we want them, and we go places if we want to go to a place, and we don't really think about the cost, which is, you know, a real luxury.
Yes, it is. Did you have any real reasons why you wanted to leave the U.S.?
No political reasons or you know.
Oh, really?
It's not like we couldn't stand anyone. I mean, there are political issues in the U.S., but
And we're not happy about those, and we're glad to not be there. But at the time, there wasn't any kind of political statement. It was just like, oh, that's cool. We could live in Malaysia.
Yeah. What do you think you like best about Malaysia?
Wow, there's so many things. I mean, I love
the food, of course.
the food is great. The standard of living is excellent. The opportunity for travel is.
The people are very friendly, very open, very accepting of Westerners.
And here in
Particularly
Penang,
if you speak a little Malay, which we
You
like
do,
to do.
don't you?
a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
We used to be actually pretty good back in Peace Corps, but that was a long time ago. And actually, one of the first things we told ourselves when we got here was we're gonna get good at Malay again. But then we got really lazy, and everyone speaks English in Penang.
It's really easy
true.
to
And so-
communicate with
Guys,
everyone.
kita pause di sini. Mohon maaf ya, aku ingin berkomentar sebentar karena apa yang aku pikirkan ingin aku katakan kepada Anda semua, guys ya. Coba tadi Anda dengar ya, guys ya. Anda dengar di sini bahwa ia adalah penutur dari orang asing, dari orang US Amerika Serikat, bukan sekedar orang biasa, guys. Ia adalah berprofesi sebagai profesor dan mengaku jujur tentang apa yang diistimewakan atau kelebihan apa yang dimiliki oleh negara Malaysia. Nah, profesor ini berkata dengan jujur bahwa dia sangat kagum, dia sangat suka dengan kuliner Malaysia, dia sangat suka situasi yang ada di sana, dia sangat suka dengan kekeluargaan atau keramah tamahan orang Malaysia, dia sangat mudah dalam berkomunikasi, apapun dia merasakan nyaman ya, guys ya. Ini tutur kata dari orang yang jujur, seorang profesor dari US Amerika Serikat. Guys, kita lanjutkan lagi. Aku tentunya penasaran apalagi yang akan ia katakan. Jomlah.
Our Malay is probably worse now than it was when we first arrived here 3 years ago.
Wow.
So let's see, what else do we love here? I mean, the accessibility to, you know, travel is, for me,
right.
one of the number one
Right.
things. You know, you just, basically you can be, you know, in another country in a couple of hours.
Sure. So do you see a huge difference between the East Coast and the West Coast?
Well, we do now. Back in the 70s, there wasn't that much of a difference.
Really?
Although, I mean, certainly was more conservative over there, and that was obvious. But we actually visited there a few years ago, and we didn't even recognize the place. It was just so
Do you think it's gotten more conservative, or
Much.
you're just...
I think,
Much
yeah,
more
more
conservative.
conservative. Yeah. I mean, Penang is very, very Cosmo,
Yes.
as you know. But yeah, on the you know, in like Kuala Terengganu in particular, and Kota Baru, it was even kind of hard to find a place to drink a beer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That would be a problem for me.
And it's also, I don't know, they're just not as welcoming. I think they used to be. You know, I never felt that before. But when we visited there a few years ago, yeah, it was not as comfortable as it is.
It's
over
interesting.
here.
And when you came here, was it a consideration that you had family to leave behind? Do you have children or anything?
No, we don't have kids.
We both have siblings, and you know, honestly, we've never lived really close to our siblings anyway, because we've moved around a lot, even within the United States, or our parents. We only have one parent left, but
Fortunately, there's Skype and there's Facebook.
Sure.
So-
I probably talk to my brother more now since I've been here
Yeah.
than I did in the States because he finds me more interesting.
Well, yeah. Has he come to visit?
Oh goodness, no, and he never would.
That's not going to happen.
I
He
know.
didn't even visit us in California.
Oh, my sister's supposed to come this year, and I'll believe it when I see it. Liz, are you listening?
But she has come before, right?
No, my older sister
Oh,
came.
okay.
So my younger sister is yet to come.
It's pretty hard to get my brother on a plane anyway. But yeah, for this long of a flight. And that is, of course, the downside.
That is.
It's even harder to get my brother
The
and
distance.
his partner on a plane.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I find it just makes me not want to go back. I mean, I really have to think long and hard. I mean, it would be like someone would have to die that was very close to me or
Yeah.
something like that.
And even then, they'd be dead,
yeah,
so they
that's
wouldn't.
the point.
So currently, I think it's safe to say we have no plans of returning, but we're gonna visit there, but we're just not gonna go back to live. I mean, because we like Malaysia.
At
I mean,
least
this
that's
is nothing against the U.S. of course, but everything about Malaysia.
Yeah, well, I feel the same way. I mean, you have a beautiful apartment here, and I'll be giving everybody a little tour of it at the end.
Thank you.
And it looks to me that you're probably either maintaining or have a better lifestyle here than you did pre-retirement. Is that correct?
I'd say that in many ways it's better. I mean, we had a nice house, and it was probably about the same size as this apartment. But yeah, I mean, we don't have the view, which you'll see, and,
Oh yeah, we have the great view,
and just just the cultural enrichment and things like that.
Well, I think that a place like this would, of course, be 4 or 5 times what you pay for it here in the U.S.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. And this complex is amazing. I hope to get some pictures of the pool before I go. It's like a resort living here, I
They
guess.
call it resort. They call it resort condominiums. So,
Well, it is.
yeah.
Well, and the price is right. It's only $1,100 a month U.S. And I don't know how much it'd be, depending where you are in the U.S., but it'd be much more in the
Yeah,
U.S.
absolutely. So, did you consider any other cities in Malaysia before you moved here, or like Kuching, or?
No, we really, it's interesting. We really didn't. I mean, we knew immediately that we didn't want to live in KL because we really wanted to get by without a car. And we had heard that Penang is one of the rare cities in the world that, you don't even miss having a car. So that was certainly a plus. And then we thought about some other places, maybe smaller, quieter places, but Penang just had everything that we were looking for.
We'd actually only been to Penang one time back when we were in the UN and the Peace Corps, and that was just for a few days. And honestly, back then it didn't make much of an impression on us. So we took a reconnaissance trip out here after reading a lot of international living articles just to see if we liked Penang, and we did. We spent
5 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks. Yeah, and had a great time and realized, okay, this is a place we want to be.
Well, I'm sure it was way more developed than when you were here previously, too.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't recognize anything.
And of course, the nice thing about being, a UNESCO heritage city is, a lot of things haven't changed, actually. So
That is a big plus.
there is that nice familiarity of the old part of the city.
Yeah, I miss that being in KL now. So you guys are on the MM2H program, right?
That's right.
And you got in with the old rules.
We were very lucky.
Fortunately, yeah. If it were the new rules, I don't think we'd be here.
I know. I mean, I remember when they changed the rules, and all of us were like freaking out and thinking we were going to have to leave because they were very unclear about whether we would be grandfathered in with our old rules and stuff.
Dan itu tadi guys video yang baru saja kita reaksi. Dia bukan orang sembarangan guys ya. Mereka adalah seorang profesor yang tentunya memiliki akal pikiran yang jenius ya guys ya, di atas rata-rata. Dan inilah pengakuan jujurnya tentang bagaimana ketika ia berada di Malaysia. Bahkan dari tahun 70-an dia sudah berada di Malaysia 4 tahun, dan kini ia balik lagi ke Malaysia untuk menikmati masa tuanya atau masa pensiunnya di Malaysia guys ya. Dan ini adalah perkataan jujur dari aku bahwa selama ini aku mereaksi, aku belum pernah melihat bahwa ada turis asing dari manapun itu yang dia ketika datang dia komplain, dia kecewa, dia marah, dia menegur, dia bosan dan lain sebagainya, hal-hal yang diungkapkan. Hal tersebut dari wisatawan asing itu aku belum pernah mendengarnya guys. Bahkan yang aku dengar adalah ketika orang asing merasa ragu ketika datang ke Malaysia, namun ia memaksakan diri untuk masuk ke negara Malaysia. Ketika dia sudah sampai di Malaysia, malah ada perasaan yang lain dia rasakan. Dia merasa takjub dengan situasi yang ada, dengan yang pastinya keramahan dari orang-orang Malaysia itu sendiri yang membuat citra Malaysia itu lebih baik di mata orang asing. Dan situasinya ya guys ya, karena udaranya yang masih segar dan kulinernya bisa dijumpai di mana saja di sana dengan harga yang murah dan rasanya yang enak, tentunya juga berkualitas. Nah, ini daya tarik tambahan untuk para turis ini untuk berpikir ulang ketika dia keluar dari Malaysia, lalu tibalah ia di negara asalnya, namun dia masih berpikir lagi untuk bagaimana kelak dia akan masuk lagi ke negara Malaysia, berawal dari rasa penasarannya itu guys. Ya, berawal dari rasa penasaran. Namun lama-kelamaan ya rasa penasaran itu berubah menjadi rasa kasih sayang guys. Banyak terjadi pada bule-bule asing yang ada di luar sana. Ketika di awal Malaysia, dia kemudian pulang ke negaranya, penasaran dengan Malaysia lagi, balik lagi, lama-lama dia malah jadi jatuh cinta. Dan itu adalah sifat yang alami ya guys ya, karena berbagai situasi yang ada di Malaysia yang pernah ia rasakan, dan pengalaman itulah yang membuat asam manis kehidupannya untuk dapat sedikit demi sedikit mencintai negara Malaysia. Dan tadi dia cakap di sini guys ya, bahwa orang-orang Malaysia itu memang sangat berbeda dengan orang-orang yang ada di Amerika. Yap, memang perbedaan situasi, perbedaan budaya, tradisi, dan lain-lain itu membuat perbedaan ini sangat mencolok sekali guys ya. Ketika dia di Amerika, bahwa orang itu lalu lalang tanpa ada berkata apapun ya, orang hanya berfokus pada pekerjaan dia masing-masing, pada aktivitas mereka masing-masing. Namun ketika dia masuk ke Malaysia, dia merasa ada ucapan selamat datang walaupun tidak diungkapkan, namun dia merasa dengan senyuman, dengan keramahan orang Malaysia itu sudah cukup dia rasa membuat rasa nyaman dalam dirinya guys. Dan rupanya dia pernah belajar bahasa Melayu sebelumnya, namun mungkin karena tidak dia teruskan guys. Namun kalau coba dia teruskan, pasti dia bisa berbahasa Melayu dengan pasti ya guys ya. Dan ia juga mengaku bahwa standar hidup di Malaysia itu adalah yang terbaik yang pernah dia rasakan. Kalau dia di Amerika, ya ini maaf bukan membandingkan ya, kalau di Amerika bukan hanya orang Malaysia, namun seluruh dunia tahu bahwa gaya hidup di Amerika itu mahal ya guys ya. Ketika dia masuk ke negara Malaysia, dia kaget dengan mungkin lebih dari separuhnya saja, atau mungkin hanya 40% gaya hidup yang biasa dia lakukan di Amerika itu dia dapatkan di Malaysia. Namun secara kualitas tidak menurun, namun secara keuangan dia dapat menghemat uang yang lebih banyak guys. Dan terakhir, mereka mengaku tidak berpikir untuk pergi kemana-mana lagi, hanya stay di Malaysia dan hingga sampai akhir hayatnya ingin menikmati kehidupan di Malaysia. Wow, luar biasa ya guys ya. Oke, demikian tadi video dari aku. Semoga video ini bermanfaat bagi kita semua, dan aku mohon undur diri. Mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata, kesalahan sikap, kesalahan perilaku aku kepada Anda semua. Mohon dimaafkan. Dan aku mohon undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.